Hello, in this tutorial we are going to develop a custom field for Jira using plugin development platform. So first what you need to do is to go to command line and to go inside of your workspace directory or create just a new one like I do, which is called Jira. So go inside of it and execute the following program called create Jira plugin. This command will force Jira to create a skeleton plugin for us. We can further use for development of our plugin and put different models inside of it. It's going to ask us some meta information. First is group ID, which is the identifier for the logical group of artifacts associated with the project. If you are familiar with Maven, maybe say something to you. So we're gonna make it just common example plugins tutorial Jira, right? And artifact ID is the name of the project of the plugin. So we're gonna call it tutorial Jira custom field. We're going to create the same name for directory. We're going also to enter one Jira snapshot version, which just tell the Maven that we want to use the latest version of our plugin, and let's write the package name of the Java package that will contain the plugin source code. Okay, so just common example plugins tutorial Jira and custom fields. Alright, confirm. Okay, loading. So now the skeleton is created, and we can go and check our IntelliJ IDEA. So let's open it. Go to import project. Let's find the folder. So you see the folders I create called Jira tutorial. This is the directory created, and we need to find our pom.xml file. To ask IDEA to import our project, so import Maven projects automatically, download sources, documentation, next, so yeah, okay, so what IDEA is going to do is going to open this project file created automatically by the platform, and let it load. So what we see now, the first file which is interesting for us is pom.xml. This is the Maven project, the Maven file, sorry. Simple Maven file. There's some meta information. This is information we have entered in our command line, if you remember. Here's also some other meta information. As you see here, like name. So this is name for plugin. We can customize it and write integer, custom field. Okay, and descriptions, what the plugin will do. So we'll write integer, let's write better. This plugin allows user to enter positive integer. Okay. Right. Let's go further. So we see here different dependencies, like unit dependencies and lesson dependencies. If you go to the bottom, we'll find the version of our current Jira and in PS. So it's also interesting to know. Let's look at the structure. So we go source, main, resources, and we should open that lesson plugin XML. And lesson plugin XML is files that identify the plugin to the host application and defines the required plugin functionality. So you see here plugin info. That's it. So it tells Jira some information about plugin, and this field refers to our variable in in Maven, so project description, you see, and here it's this one, project description. So these two files are synchronized, so we can refer one another. And look at other Java folder. We see here some created examples of files. We don't need them, or just delete them. Okay, yeah, we don't need it either, so just delete it. Alright. Okay, let's close this, and let's delete also test, because we don't need test for now. Okay, delete, and delete this tool. Alright, so it looks much better now. We have synced our skeleton. Let's go back to our command line. Let's go to the root directory. So this is the directory where our POM file is. So in our case, this is tutorial Jira custom field. So let's enter it, tutorial Jira custom field. And in this, when we are in this directory, we should execute the following command. All commands in Jira start with atlas and create Jira plugin and model. To create a special model, which is called custom field, to put it in plugin. Because all plugins in Jira contain from at least one model. And Jira should provide us with a list of different models, we can see. So let's find custom field, it's number 4. So let's enter number 4 for custom field. Okay, sorry. It asks us to create class name, so it will be integer custom field. Enter package name, so this is the name of the package where we want our integer custom field class to be. So write com example plugins, what else? Tutorial Jira custom fields. Okay. No, we don't need another setup. No, we don't need another plugin model. And so Jira has automatically created for us a model. We can see it in our Atlassian plugin XML. So this is the part that was added. We can see here's the description of a custom field type. So integer custom field with integer custom field key. And here is the reference to our class, to the integer custom field class. So let me show it. So you see it's right over here. So this is the reference here. Here also resources. We have velocity objects. We are going to talk about them in detail a little bit later in our tutorial. But just remember that they're here. Okay, so here is the automatically created class for us. As you see, it extends from text CST type, but it's deprecated. So we're going just to delete everything in this class because we don't need it. And let's change the parent to abstract single field type, which is fields can store single or multiple values. In our case, it's single values, so we're going to choose this class and put integer as transport object, which is object, and the object type represents the custom field used. And so let's generate methods, constructor, make it public. Okay, so you see the constructor takes two values as its parameters, its custom field value per sister. And we need to do one more thing. We need to give a hint to string that it has to look in our class for bins. And let's give another hint that this field should be injected. So let's write components import. Okay. We need also to do the same with generic config manager, which is another parameter for our constructor. It should be also injected, and I'll initialize them here. Alright. Okay, and this generic config manager, right? And generic config manager. Okay, looks good. So now we are going to the methods, and the first method that we're going to change is get string from single object. It's right over here. It turns a value in our transport project into text. So we're going to change it to make a name more beautiful. Say there's a singular object. And we're going first to check it for null. So if our singular object is null, so if null string, we should return also null, and else we should just return our singular object to string. Okay, so it's a string representation of our transport object. Another method is the reverse method, which is get singular object from string. Let's name it beautifully string. And this object takes input from user and validates and puts it into the transport object. So if string is null, then we should return also null. And let's make this dot final. Integer, create new integer, and feed it our string, so it can parse it. And if the created integer is less than 0, then we will throw field validation exception, because our condition that we cannot enter negative values in our custom field. So let's write message like only positive integers. Next, what we should do is to make sure that we return it. So we need to write return integer, which satisfies our condition. And we need also to ensure that if the user uses some invalid input, is going to throw also an exception. So we're going to capture a number format exception. And we're going to throw, in this case, another field validation exception, saying the users that saying that users that not valid input. Alright, so the next method is let me see, should be somewhere here. Okay, get database type. You see it's in the top. This method tells Jira what kind of database column to store in data, to start dating, and you can choose text, or something like long text, numeric for the date. So we're going to return persistence, we need persistence field type. So let's write persistence field type. Okay, and type limit. Okay, we could use numeric, but we keep it simple. We're just gonna return string, so we choose type limited text. Another method is get objects from database value. It takes objects from a database and converts it into our transport object. And the value parameter is declared as object, but will be string because we chose field type text. So we're going to call get singular object from string and feed it our object, which should be string too. And okay, let's make a more beautiful name, something like data. Okay, sorry, let's add db value, and here also db value. Okay, what's wrong? Oh, okay, I made a typo in there. It should be db value. Yeah, okay, looks good. Another method that we want to change is get database value from object, and this method takes a value and transports object and converts it to an object suitable for storing in the database. So it's a custom field object. And what we're going to return database. So we need to return objects, or it's get single string, get string from singular object, and it's going to be our custom field object. All right. So all our methods defined, I believe. Let's get rid of all this unnecessary import to make our class more clean. Delete. And now we can go to our velocity objects. And plugins can expose interface in Jira through velocity templates. And the Sidica gave us two of them, one for viewing the field and another for editing it. So here we see the view, and we are going to write here something like, this is a basic code, so we'll write if flow simply checks for null values in the value variable. So if value, and if it is null, nothing is going to get shown in our template rendering, and otherwise the value here in the second column is replaced by the value in our transport object. So that's it. And I believe that view is done. And we can go to our edit, and this we just copy paste, because this code is the same as in the basic template in the Jira code. And this means that this field will look the same as many other text fields in Jira. So the custom control footer and the other footer is macros defined in built into Jira. It checks the certain conditions and adds some standard user interface. So let's go back to our command line and run Jira. Okay, something goes wrong. Let's try it again. Run. Should be right. Okay, yeah, now it works. So this command that we have executed builds your plugin code. It starts a Jira instance and installs your plugin in it. And it can take several minutes, and if the process completes, You might see some status lines like type Ctrl Z to shut down gracefully, and another one, type Ctrl C to exit. And there will be also a URL of the page where your Jira started. So if you run it in your browser, you can get the Jira. So here it is. We can enter here our username and password, which are admin and admin by default. So here we can see the Jira is loading, and let's give it a few seconds. Okay, it can take some time. Alright. System dashboard. And here we should go to our Jira administration and click on issues. If you click on issues, on the left side should appear a bar. Here is bar. Scroll down, we can find fields. Here it is, and we should click on custom fields. If there was custom fields, I have already integer custom field installed, but you probably not. And to do it, you should click on add custom fields. There appears the list of all available custom fields, like URL fields, text fields. We should go to advanced, and there you can find our integer custom fields. So click on next. Enter just some random name like 123 and some kind of description. Create, and it will create our new just created integer custom field, which we can add to our different screens. So let's select it for all available screens that we have here. Update. It updates. Alright. And now we're going to create a new issue. And if we are creating a new issue, we can see that here in the bottom are custom fields. So here it is. So let's enter some value like 123. Add some input here. Okay, great. So we're going to create a new issue with our custom field. And it's loading. Voila! Here it is. And here is our custom field. This is its name, and this is a value which we can edit. Let's write something like 234, for example. You see, it changed to 234. If we want to enter a negative integer, it will give us mistakes, saying that only positive integers are valid inputs. And even if we write something like a float number, it will also throw exception, saying that we have not valid input. And the same gonna happen if we just enter some text. That's it. So now you know how to create custom field in Jira. Enjoy. Put